Well, good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, November 2nd. I'm Gunnar, I'm Dine, call me Dine, and welcome to Part 12 of Final Fantasy VI, The Eternal Crystals. In the last part, we entered the point of no return, and the entire world has been changed forever. The entire surface of the planet has been rewritten, continents sprung up where there were none before, plenty of mountains sank, everything has changed. All we see is a single, solitary isle. Were there any survivors? Is anyone here now? Just the lapping of the waves and the lone gull. This cabin. How long have people lived here? Is anyone left? We have Celes. How long has she been here? Has she been alone this whole time? But cannot move. This is still part of the cutscene. However, things do appear to be taken care of because we have a teapot and flowers, and lo and behold, Cid is still alive. He's probably been the one watching over her this whole time. Just looking for a sign of movement from her, but apparently she hasn't done a thing this whole time. What? It's stirring. And she just gets out of bed like nothing happened. And he heard her blink. Celes, at last! Celes, at last! You're finally awake! I feel like I've been sleeping forever. For 1 year, actually. I thought you were out for good. And how did you get out of there? Your muscles must be atrophied. Then again, this is science fiction and video games. I'm not going to worry about it too much. A whole year. You've watched over me the whole time? Yes, and I'm about out of energy. We're on a tiny deserted island. After the void opened, I awoke to find us here together with a few strangers. The void. So, it wasn't just a dream. Where are my friends? Where's Locke? I don't know. I only know we're here. Maybe we're the only people left alive. Since that day, our world has merged with the Dark World. A new legion of monsters roam the planet. Everything is dying now, and the Dark Cloud controls the crystals. My friends. They're probably all gone. Celes, you're the closest thing to family that I have. We could just live out our lives here peacefully. I suppose so, Cid. Or should I say Granddad? May I call you that? Gramps, eh? I'm overwhelmed. All of a sudden I have a granddaughter. My long-lost granddad. Hey. Are you hungry? I haven't eaten in 3 or so days, ever since I became ill. What would you like? Well, unless I ask for fish, I won't get anything. That's all there is here. I'll go catch some. Now, this event and sequence will change depending on your actions. I am going to go with the canon route. But first of all, re-equip her. Just give her the best you have from the World of Balance, the Stone Blade or the Ultima Weapon, depending on your level. Relic, this is imperative. Give her a ribbon. Because there are enemies upcoming that have status ailments that will kill you instantly because she's the only one in the party. Second item, gotta be sprint shoes, because unfortunately that's all there is. Now before we continue on, to go to the beach you want to head south, go anywhere else to enter the world map. And Boundless Ocean from Final Fantasy III. I love this song. And I'll just have to say that out of the replacements made in this game, this is my favorite. If you know the events of this and the upcoming and what happens later on Final Fantasy III, it's one of those songs that just I can never get enough of. And in terms of Espers, give her one that will attack all enemies when you summon them. Ramu's probably the best because it's the cheapest. Just gotta go ahead and save again. Now, if you get into battle, Avoid the sand, by the way. Kefka still hates sand, so he put all the tough monsters in there. These enemies are super easy, so easy that they will kill themselves like that. Now, when you have luck, you can steal the best healing item in the game from them, but it's very rare. And going back in here, come down onto the beach. You have the bird here. There are 4 types of fish that you can catch. And you normally want to go for the fast one, because only 2 of them will actually help out Sid. But I'm just going to go for what I can catch. But, try this again. Yeah, the fish will reset every time you go in and talk to Sid. And come here, just wait for one to swim by and catch it. And the fish will actually appear in your key item slot as well. You come in here, you find Sid. What are you doing out of bed? Granddad, here's a fish, eat up. Oh, yup. My worst nightmare is to think of you alone here on this wretched island. Now, depending on his condition, he will say different things. I'm just going to grab a fish and whatever. I know which ones I need to get. Unfortunately, I'm going the cannon route where you don't heal him because it is more powerful. And I'm not gonna revoice the character so long as the line stays the same. And even if you don't feed him anything and go in and talk to him, that should reset the fish. And actually, on the original Super NES version, this part is actually easy to succeed on. They made it a lot harder on the Game Boy Advance version. Oh, come on. You need to change somehow, Sid. Yeah, got the slow-moving one. The fast-moving one is usually actually always the best kind. All the slow-moving ones aren't. And let me just go ahead and check. The rare items, fish. You have a great fish, a good fish, a fish, and a bad fish, basically. Well, I can still talk. I want to thank you. Unfortunately, his condition continues to deteriorate. Now, it would be a real punch in the gut if nothing changed, if you could do nothing, but lo and behold, he's in bed, he did not move. There's no response. Granddad, you have to eat or else... What's the matter? Sid. No! You promised you'd stay here with me! Granddad, answer me! Tell me you're just joking! Those others who are here, when they were feeling down, they take a leap of faith from the cliffs up north, perked him right up. And I hate to interrupt this moment, but this translation is crap. It completely ruins the emotional impact of just how much Celes has fallen right here. These people were not cliff diving for fun, they were cliff diving to kill themselves. And unfortunately, everyone's gone. Even Locke, who promised to watch over me. The world's slowly ebbing away. And she has nothing left. She's a tough gal. She survived a fall from an airship, even though it took her a year to recover. And unfortunately, at this time she probably laments her strength. She wasn't able to kill herself. But why did you nurse me back to health? Did I ever ask you to help me? A bandana? No. It can't be. Hey you! Where did you get this? Is the person who healed you still alive? Answer me! He's alive! Locke's still alive! And as you re-enter the cabin, I have a letter. You need to leave. Find the other light warriors. Save the planet. Find the stairs next to the stove. Down on them lights your road to freedom. Love, Granddad. And if you check the stairs here, a raft. We've cleared the level 3 dungeon from Zelda 1 to get this raft. And of course, if you heal Sid, he'll tell you to look for everyone and leave on your own while he stays behind. But like I said, this is the canon route. Far greater emotional impact. I'll make you proud of me, Granddad. And even though Celes has hit rock bottom, she finds her first ray of hope. Now there are 2 more enemies that appear on the Solidarity Isle. One is a type of manta ray, same as the squirrel. The other is the one I warned about in sand. Definitely not one to attack when you have one party member. But we'll be going back there. There's something to pick up once you're able to return. That's the best way to put it. Hit land. We're at the mercy of the currents. We're back to the music. First thing to do is gather information. Where are we? We're in Albrook. So another city has survived. Did you see that tower? Gefka's up there, and he's using the power of the dark crystals. He's like a god. And actually, all of the items have restocked. Some have new. Some stores have new items and such. Others are kind of the same. The ones in Albrook here are the same. But you want to gather a lot of information because everyone has something new to say. On that day, debris from the 2 worlds spiraled to the center of an island and formed that tower. How can you make any guild in a world like this? I'm not from Narsh, but why am I talking in this accent? You, the sparkle in your eye. You're not a warrior of light, are you? But that's actually changed. In the original translation, he gives a hint that someone like her has walked north to Zen. Anyone who opposes the evil Esper gets his or her own town fried at the judgment of darkness. Everything changed on that day. Now it's nice to have this because you have the stuff from the Magic Research Facility. In case you didn't pick it up before, I'm a scholar. In another dimension, it is believed there exists a world that thrives off dark energy. This dark world is kept separate by the light crystals of our world. But without light, what would happen? That's actually a hint to one of the new bonus dungeons created in this hack. And, oh boy, that's going to be a pain to get there. When the world was ripped apart, many long-sealed monsters were released. Hell Knight, Death Guys, and the 8 Dragons. It's Death Gaze! Oh, that's another piece of translation that's always bugged me. Now, what do you have to say on that? I finished the Emperor's portrait. It was a true representation of the Emperor, but he hated it. I ended up selling it to Ozer, a rich man who lives in Jador. A bit of a plot hole. When did the Emperor ever see it? Because you can talk to that guy right before going to the floating continent, and he'll say that the Emperor had commissioned him. Nothing new. We still have the best stuff from before. Again, those are just in case you don't have the equipment. I found this in a 100-year-old text. 8 dragons seal away this awesome beast. Its name is Crusader. Defeat these dragons and its powers can be released. Say what? Oh, sorry, you sound like a monk who was here searching for his friends. He said he was going north to Zen. Here's our first clue, and believe it or not, it's entirely optional. You do not have to get MASH, by following him to Zen. He is indeed there, but it is super recommended. I saw death guys soaring through the sky. I'd rather take an acid bath than fight that thing, don't you know? Anything new in the relic shop? Most likely. Yeah, if you don't have the ribbon, you want at least a jewel ring. There's petrification and actually zombie are your biggest problems, but I don't think there's anything that protects against zombie. And we'll swing back out through the pub. Oh, I think back on how nice the world used to be. And a little flashback. And you may notice, no more Imperial soldiers. Even though they were stationed in the city, they either all died off or cast off their uniform because there's no more Empire. I realize it'll never be the same again. That's all there is to do in Albrook. Save the game and head north. You never know what you're going to run into. Always play it safe. Now, before you go north, you can probably re-equip... I'd equip the sprint shoes and put on something else for her. And I'm probably actually going to do that. Give her a black belt or the Gale pin that reduces enemy encounters. One of the two. Because these enemies aren't that tough, but you do need to conserve your power. Because we have a couple of long walking stretches before the next area. About 2 hits each should take these guys out. Not too bad unless you're severely underleveled. Well, let's give her a black belt. And continue north. I'm gonna cut this battle out of editing, but I need to get a little bit of experience. Oh, it's the last counter. No, she countered once. But actually, this is a slightly resurfaced world map from the original because Kefka's Tower is surrounded by land in the original. Here we are at Zen. Now, here we are at Zen. Okay, I'm going to re-equip the sprint shoes. I really didn't need to do that, but it's just a handy piece of advice. And one thing to do, top off your HP. And as always, save, because you never know what you're going to run into. I heard there's a desert island where a powerful dragon lives deep in the sands. A dragoon would find it a worthy kill if he could find it. Well, we don't have a dragoon in our party, and I didn't mean to leave like that. But as you approach... Tension music. Before you do anything, come into the item shop. It has a very handy item. Super balls. Very handy for dealing damage on groups of enemies. Useful in an emergency, but expensive. That's the only big downside to these things. Now, talk to everyone before things change. Of course, you can check the weapon and armor shop as well. Now, it's not an earthquake that hit us. You may notice weapons for MASH. Suspicious. Anything in the armor shop. Not that I can really afford much anymore. Doesn't matter, we still have the best stuff. And everyone's panicking. We resisted the dark clouds, so we unleash his judgment of darkness on us. Hurry, or the house will collapse. And why am I giving him her Strago's voice? Must irritate Kefka. No kidding. There are monsters inside. They keep petrifying everyone who goes in to help. You using suitable relics? That's why I equipped the ribbon. Now that's the guy who sells you the Seraphim Crystal Shard. Yeah, I checked out the Return of Dark Sorcerer or FSS hack. I haven't downloaded or started it yet. Bobby E00700 is mentioning that to me in the chat here. But once I get to that, it'll be a while before I get to that. My child inside, do something! Oh, hey, Mash. Hey, what you hanging on there playing Spider-Man for? Mash!
Hey, Celes.
Let's head in.
Wait. If I move, the whole house will collapse first, brother. Save the child that's in there. I can't hold this up forever, so get on the home. Ugh.
So yeah, 6 minutes to get in and out. Most of the chests have monsters in them, but they're worth getting. The Holy Staff, you got some stuff for Shaguin Realm. Here's why I suggested equipping Espers and using those. Because these should one-shot these guys. If not, I'm going to run from most of these battles. Oh. Well, joke's on me. Virus. I only need to fight these guys once anyway. I should cast Fire as it's got the shortest animation. Okay, I'm just gonna run from those guys from now on. Hyper Wrist, thank you. Because these scorpions are the only regular enemies you fight in here. The downside is you just have to go through this every time. With that animation, I'll get that other one on the way out. Nightwalker, these guys are new. And usually good use for Super Balls. I tried to get at 3 or 5, again, I just didn't have the money. And, well, took out 3 of them. I don't know how much HP those guys have, just hit them as hard as you can. And the shaking is actually distracting. Can't see well. But so long as you have 3 minutes left by the time you catch the kid, you got more than enough time to get back out. Come on, Celeste, get the lead out. And of course, that's why you have the sprint shoes. Blood Sword, very handy, especially in Final Fantasy 2. Another monster in a box. Same group of enemies, not a problem. Got to be sure to heal up after this guy too. Yeah, the Super Balls do kind of random damage. Unfortunately, that just sucked right there. Okay. Oh, meant to target all of them. One more. He's kind of blended into the wall. I thought I was done. And one more Fira. Or Fira. Or Fira, however you want to pronounce it. Alright, talk to the kid. I'm scared! Don't worry, you're safe now. Yeah, it's not specifically Celeste who says that, because like I said, this is actually optional. Heal up with items, and let's get the lead out. I said that already. Crystal Shard. Now we got plenty of time, we will make it. Yeah, that countdown always ends after a battle. That's a mechanic that I've never really understood. But we are safe. No, there aren't any items in the pots as far as I recall. I'm not going to bother to check. And on the plus side, this is the last timed mission in the game. I absolutely hate them.
We made it. Wait! Or was it? Oh, that was a pretty bad one, brother. So wait! There we go.
I never told Hulk Hogan that I do a parody of him as a character on that. Then again, I spoke to him for about 30 seconds. Mash, you're alive!
But of course, you think a minor thing like the end of the world is going to do me in, brother? I even had my triumphant theme music with me.
I thought everyone was gone. I'd given up all hope. But, fortunately I was wrong. Now I know they're all alive. We need to find everyone, then.
I know. We smash Kefka and deliver peace unto the world, brother. That's one of my favorite lines in the game.
Oh, with Mash back in our party? Go ahead and equip him with everything he needs. And yeah, we can give him another fire knuckle. So make sure you have 10,000 gil for that. Fortunately, I do. And that dancer below is someone who didn't appear before. We'll speak with her in a bit. Of course, we'll talk to everyone again. Now, one thing I failed to mention in my grinding session before the last video, MASH had developed a new blitz. It's called Air Blade. It's a powered-up version of an all-area attack, wind damage. It's a quarter circle from 12 o'clock all the way around to 9 o'clock. Very useful at this point in the game. And what do you have to say? Head north and you reach Nikeah. Ships still sail from there. Is that where you came from? Because that's where we first encountered your sprite.
Mobliz is now on an island. Boy, the Judgment of Darkness really fried that town.
Mobliz is now on an island. Can we even reach there by foot? I've never been more frightened. Zombie petrified and the like. Now let's give Mash what he needs. The black belt. And probably a hyper wrist. Actually, what I want is the where? Not the back guard. Not the guild. Ward bangle. That's what I'm thinking of. So reduce the number of encounters because I'll do redundant fighting off screen. It's been a long day. Let's go ahead and rest. And I guess I'll keep going to the next event. Our way out. If you check the map on the original version, you can walk to Mobliz. And it's, I can't really point out to it, but if you keep going east from where you're at, and then to the tiny isle in the center, far east right portion of the map, you could walk to it before, okay, new enemies. Not on this hack, unfortunately. So I'm just going to skip that event. No point in going that far. And here's Sabin's new blitz, or Mash's new blitz! Ah! I caught myself last time and not this time. So we'll just skip that entirely. It's actually handy too in the original because you can walk there and there's a chocobo stable to the south. And you can just grab a chocobo and walk along this path. But But unfortunately, with the way it is situated on an island in this hack, that's why you can't walk to it. Got these Remras. I actually don't remember if these are enemies, if the sprites are from the original game or not. I think they are. They may be taken from a GBA version. Not 100% sure. Because I don't do a lot of fighting along this route in the original game. But hey, better chance to enjoy the great overworld music. And right there is Fanatic's Tower, probably the most annoying dungeon in any version of the game. We fought these guys already. I want to check Razor Gale to see if it's better than Rising Phoenix against these guys. Okay, so Rising Phoenix is a little bit better. We'll get to Fanatic's Tower another time. Need an airship first, of course. Oh, more new enemies. These guys are annoying because they have high defense. Another reason to have MASH. Simply because of it is Raging Fist.
That's right, it ignores defense, bitch.
And we're almost there. Another good reason to take the Chocobo in the original hack. Is that you get around these deserts. Because again, the enemies in the desert on this continent are very, very annoying with only 2 people. And we finally made it to Nikeah. Go ahead and heal up really quick. And in terms of espers, Golem's always a good one to have in case you need to summon him. And there's also shopping to do in here. I'm hiding away from Kefka. More new items if you need it. Holy water is very handy to have in upcoming dungeons because of zombie. And we have some, actually have some new weapons. This Mystic Sword I can't afford. But I can start selling off some of these things. I no longer need them. But don't accidentally sell the ultimate weapon. Otherwise you will not get one again. Increase in magic power, very handy to have. Let's do Optimum here. Yeah, this is where you'll start finding new equipment. And a diamond vest, which I can't quite afford either. What can we sell? I really don't want to sell a whole lot of these because they are unique. Let's sell a Hawkeye. Actually, I need to grind for some money. I need a lot more than this. And I want to do that ahead of time, so I have everything when I get everybody. So I'm actually going to stop here and not continue on at this time. So thank you guys for tuning in. This is a little shorter than expected. I was actually hoping to go Mobliz and do those events, but I forgot about that at change. So, I'm good, I'm dying. Call me dying. If life is giving you a hard day, never be afraid to eat your pudding with a fork. You guys take care. I'll see you for the next one.